Heavy rain and violent winds once again swept across Arizona as the remnants of two tropical systems, Hurricanes Priscilla and Raymond, collided with desert air, unleashing widespread storms that brought flooding, destructive winds, and power outages from the Phoenix Valley to the mountain foothills. By late Monday afternoon, the sky over the East Valley darkened rapidly. What began as a steady drizzle quickly transformed into a wall of wind and rain that tore through Tempe, Mesa, and Chandler with astonishing force. The storm intensified so quickly that many residents had little time to react. Streets filled with water within minutes, trees bent under the gusts, and flashes of lightning illuminated the skyline as thunder echoed across the valley.
Oh shit!
That was something.
Thanks for this video.
Whoever punted that tree been winning car.
Wow. What the fuck?
The most severe damage came from what meteorologists later confirmed to be a powerful microburst, a sudden, localized downdraft that can produce straight-line winds rivaling those of a tornado. The National Weather Service said the microburst that struck Tempe carried wind speeds of up to 100 miles per hour, enough to peel roofs from buildings, overturn semi-trucks, and snap large trees at their base. Along Kyrene Road, from Elliott to Baseline, the destruction was unmistakable. Sheet metal and insulation scattered across parking lots, power poles lay splintered across intersections, and a local business had its entire roof ripped away in seconds. Witnesses described it as a moment of pure shock. 1 minute calm, the next a roar of wind and debris. It looked like a tornado, one resident said, but it hit all at once and was gone almost as fast.
How about that? Dude, this is nuts. Oh my God.
Oh, that's cool.
Despite rumors circulating online, officials confirmed there was no tornado. Instead, this was the signature of a microburst, a rare but extremely dangerous phenomenon, common in Arizona's monsoon and tropical storm seasons. Meteorologist Gabriel Lojero from the National Weather Service explained that microbursts push air downwards in a straight line, unlike tornadoes which rotate, but the destruction they cause can be nearly identical, leaving neighborhoods unrecognizable in their wake.
water level's coming up in that wall. A little higher. Oh my lord.
As the storm ripped through Tempe, more than 34,000 people lost power. Entire blocks went dark, and traffic signals failed, adding to the chaos. Utility crews from Salt River Project and Arizona Public Service worked through the night to restore electricity, but fallen trees and live wires made access difficult. At one point, the smell of wet asphalt and ozone filled the air as transformers sparked in the distance.
Oh my God!
It's fucking hilarious. Delivered.
By nightfall, city officials opened an emergency shelter at the Escalante Multi-Generational Center in partnership with the American Red Cross. More than 130 people were displaced after several apartment complexes suffered major structural damage. Volunteers brought blankets, food, and water, while city engineers inspected weakened buildings for safety. For many families, it was the second time this year they'd been forced to evacuate due to extreme weather.
Beautiful.
Meanwhile, across the greater Phoenix area, flash flooding turned roads into rivers. Rainfall totals varied dramatically. Sky Harbor International Airport recorded just under 1/4 of an inch, while parts of Scottsdale saw nearly an inch. But in the desert, it's not just how much rain falls, it's how fast it happens. Dense, clay-like soil repels water, forcing it to rush downhill and pool in low-lying neighborhoods.
Oh my gosh.
That fence is down. It's hailing.
Holy crap, and just like that. And my dog's having fun again. But it's way over here. And that just filled up quick. Not good. But
Stormwater funneled through natural washes and city drainage systems, overwhelming culverts and forcing closures on major roadways, including U.S. Highway 60 and portions of Loop 202. Drivers who underestimated the flooding quickly found themselves trapped. Emergency crews carried out multiple water rescues, including one man who was pulled from a flooded canal near 13th Street and Indian School Road. He was found clinging to a concrete wall as water surged around him, unable to climb out until firefighters extended a ladder. Thankfully, he escaped with no injuries. Even the Phoenix Zoo wasn't spared. Officials there reported extensive damage across the property after the Ake 13 storm. More than a dozen trees were uprooted, pathways flooded, and debris scattered across animal enclosures. Out of caution, the zoo announced it would close for 2 days to focus on cleanup and repairs. In a statement, staff expressed gratitude that no animals or visitors were harmed, crediting their caretakers for acting swiftly as the storm hit. Across Maricopa and Pinal Counties, the National Weather Service issued a flurry of severe thunderstorm and flash flood warnings throughout the day. Winds of 60 miles per hour and hail the size of quarters battered communities from Scottsdale to Apache Junction, Fountain Hills, and Paradise Valley. Residents reported the deafening sound of hail pounding rooftops, while water raced down desert streets and filled underpasses.
Their window looks busted out, their sliding glass door. Yeah, damn. That's broken.
For Sedona and surrounding mountain towns, the situation was even more challenging. Nearly 5,000 homes temporarily lost power as heavy rain and wind swept across the Red Rocks. Lightning flashed repeatedly against the dark clouds, and by sunset, more than 20,000 customers statewide were without electricity. Power companies urged residents to turn off appliances to prevent surges once power returned. Transportation across the region was heavily disrupted. Valley Metro's light rail system suspended portions of both the A and B lines after tracks flooded and electrical systems failed. Shuttle buses were deployed to assist stranded passengers between downtown Phoenix and Mesa, while crews inspected infrastructure for storm damage. By the following day, service was slowly being restored.
I would have been out of that fucking Highlander, dude. That motherfucker.
Meteorologists said the tropical remnants that fueled the storm were leftovers from Hurricanes Priscilla and Raymond, systems that had formed in the eastern Pacific and weakened as they drifted northward into the southwestern United States. The influx of tropical moisture brought several days of scattered storms, cooler temperatures, and widespread rainfall across Arizona. Although the heaviest rain fell in central and southern parts of the state, northern counties saw steady showers that helped ease drought conditions, even as they created new flood hazards along burn scar areas.
There was a microburst. All the trees collapsed on the property. Every tree.
Experts warned that the combination of saturated ground, uneven terrain, and hydrophobic soil from previous wildfires has made Arizona especially vulnerable to flooding. In places like Globe, Sedona, and Tucson's surrounding valleys, even brief downpours can produce dangerous runoff. In the desert, it's not how much rain you get, it's where and how fast it falls, said meteorologist Ashley DiMartino. That's what makes flash floods here so unpredictable.
Figure out the extent of the damage, if any. Hopefully there's none. Hopefully the braces kind of took the brunt of it and it didn't compromise it structurally. So we'll check it out. Hopefully get all the different angles here.
By Tuesday morning, skies began to clear across the valley and temperatures dropped into the 70s. Cleanup efforts were underway in neighborhoods across Tempe and Scottsdale, where residents swept mud from driveways and gathered fallen branches. Crews repaired downed power lines, and public works teams worked around the clock to clear debris from roads and storm drains before the next round of rainfall later in the week. City officials praised first responders for their rapid actions during the crisis. Firefighters, police officers, and emergency volunteers performed multiple rescues, responded to downed lines, and checked on elderly residents who lost power. Despite the widespread damage, there were no fatalities. A testament, they said, to preparation, communication, and the quick response of the community.
Holy shit. Don't be walking around in that jet.
Still, the storm served as another reminder of how quickly weather can turn severe in Arizona. From destructive winds to flash floods, the impacts of tropical remnants continue to highlight the vulnerability of desert cities to extreme weather events. As cleanup continues, local leaders urge residents to stay alert, prepare emergency kits, and avoid flooded roads during future storms.
That's insane. Oh my god.
Oh my god, wow.
This was not just another storm. It was a test of resilience, a moment that reminded everyone how nature's power can reshape a community in minutes, and how, through cooperation and courage, people can rebuild just as quickly.
Yeah, like our side is okay, but when you get towards the front by the pool, there's like the whole ceiling's caved in on one corner.
Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.